I am your host, Carrie, along with my co-host, founder of Historical Tours of Greater Holyoke, Robert Como. Our Canal Day series delves into the vast collection of historical sites throughout Massachusetts, with Robert's expertise of the local history as our personal guide. Each episode, we uncover history throughout local communities and historic houses, meaningful monuments, preeminent pivotal pioneers, and remarkable remaining remnants, all while uncovering their seminal significance. Today's episode of Canal Days will be canvassing the Northampton Cutlery Canal, located in Northampton, Massachusetts. So, can you divulge in the early history of the canal?
Well, it was first made by paper mills, so there was a canal there dug for the workers of the paper mill, and they were making it for machinery, and that was paper. Now, it was a long, straight canal, and we'll talk about that. And we also talk about what came later, and the peculiar shapes again, and what's the best place you might see this. Now, in the beginning, they were making lots of paper. The reason why South Hadley invented the first machinery that allowed mechanized paper production, and that was in the 1830s. And Northampton picked it up right away, and they kept going with it. Now, to have this many paper mills around, during the time that Holyoke came around, so around the 1870s, they got very strong. By that time, having all these mills around for paper wasn't very efficient, so it changed over. But in the beginning, it was a Northampton paper mill, and it had a very long, straight canal.
And can you go into detail about the Northampton Cutlery Mill?
Okay, so it got replaced during the 1870s by Northampton Cutlery, and they stayed an extremely long time there. And the actual physical mill that they use is still in place. And of course, cutlery means forks, spoons, knives. And so thus, this is one of a few cutlery mills inside of Northampton. I believe there were 3 at the peak of it. And so it changed over from a place with a lot of paper mills to cutlery. It also changed over into some silk, especially from the 1880s onwards. And of course, it'll change with the time as usual. Now, that cutlery stayed a long time. So if you Google Northampton Cutlery, you'll probably learn about this company a lot. And it's wonderful they can change over that way. They still were using the canal water for power, so they brought the water in and they dropped it onto the turbines as it went below the mill, and that caused the machinery to go. So this was during the heyday of the power canals in the Connecticut River Valley.
Are you fascinated by local history and eager to investigate the obscure treasures off the beaten path throughout the state of Massachusetts? Or maybe just seeking an unforgettable cultural activity for family and friends to enjoy? Look no further than Historical Tours of Greater Holyoke, founded by Robert Como. With over a decade of experience, Robert offers captivating tours and presentations of historic sites and landmarks throughout the state. Whether you're interested in canals, cemeteries, charming churches, and more, Robert's tours provide a unique and enriching experience for all. And that's not it. You can also schedule private tours tailored to your interests, ensuring a personalized adventure and an unforgettable, exciting hands-on learning experience that brings history to life. Simply visit holyokecanaltour.org or email bobcat4214, capital B, at yahoo.com to book your private tour today. And wait, there's still more. Don't miss out on Robert's podcast and video series, Canal Days, where you can dive even deeper into the vital history of the Connecticut River Valley. Plus, for those of you who may not be local or would rather enjoy on the go or the comfort of your home, Canal Days brings the adventure right to your screen. So don't miss out. Uncover the pivotal past with Historical Tours of Greater Holyoke to make your own history with memories that will last a lifetime. Remember to log on to holyokecanaltour.org for more information and secure your personalized adventure today. Getting back to our podcast on the Northampton Cutlery Canal, can you describe and explain the canal's unique shape?
It's a very long canal, and it's a long the stretch of the Mill River that also is very long and straight. And so you have both being right next to each other, very long and straight. The canal, of course, is very narrow, where the Mill River is a decent amount of width to it. And so, why the shape? Because these are not only canals bringing water into the mill and over a turbine, they're also a backup store of water, a reservoir. So it doubles as a canal and reservoir together to make sure that during times where the amount of water coming in is not very high, that you're still going to have all this water in the canal that can be used. Now, it's only, like most of these canals in Northampton, a one mill canal, and so you don't need to store up that much water. So they push it in with a dam up top, and it stays straight coming in. It's quite a bit different from the other canal in the Bay State area, or Paper City area, where they had meander, and then the canal came around the meander, but it doubled as a canal and a reservoir. And it does in this case too. And soon after the Mill River takes a big wide turn around here, it's used again for another mill. But this, at least for this canal, it's a very long straight one.
And can you describe the best place to view the canal?
The best place is to get on the iron bridge that's right past the mill and look upstream, and you're going to see off to the right-hand side. You're on the sidewalk of that rough iron bridge. You're going to see on the right-hand side a very clear area, a very flat land area. And that's where the canal used to be. It's filled in now, but you can tell by the flatness, the straightness, and the even terrain that there was something there, and that was a narrow canal that served this Northampton cutlery. It was the Northampton Cutlery Canal. Sadly, most of it seems to be gone. I cannot check further up. Remember, this straight area is about 400 yards long, so I can't see further up. But most seems to be gone. But you can see off of my maps of what's there, what it's supposed to look like, and compare it to, and you can think in your mind, this is where it was.
And thanks for listening to Canal Days and our episode on the Northampton Cutlery Canal Mill, and joining us on our journey through the rich history of the Connecticut River Valley. We hope you enjoyed uncovering some of the hidden and overlooked marvels and their fascinating stories that shaped our past in the state of Massachusetts. A special thanks to Robert Camus, founder of the Historical Tours of Greater Holyoke, for sharing his passion and expertise with us. And remember, you can find more information and schedule a private tour on his website, holyokecanaltour.org, and also find his podcast and video series. So, hope you join us again, and until next time.